All right, I want to welcome everyone tonight. Thanks so much for joining we have renamed our weekly Zoom to our team Huddle. We think that's a really grand name for both of our regions coming together. And so what we want to do on these weekly meetings is we just want to give you some information that you can take right away and use to build your business, and then also for all of us to come together and share our wins in what we're doing in our businesses each week. And so today, the first topic that we want to talk about is about the 30 days to healthy living. And I'm going to make a few comments about it, and then I'm going to turn it over to Eleanor and let Eleanor kind of close us out on the 30 days to healthy living. And then we will move to the 30 and 30. Everything is 30 in our bond. So don't get confused. But our 30 days to healthy living, most of you on here, or I think probably everyone on here has experienced the 30 days to healthy living, actually have gone through it yourself. Many of you joined our team because of going through the 30 day to healthy living and having such great results. And so this is where I want to start. If you have not experienced or done the 30 days to healthy living yourself, you have to, because that is the only way that you can invite others to do the 30 days to healthy living and successfully coach them. Because once you invite people into the 30 day to healthy living, they are in the larger group that we run, but it is your responsibility as their sponsor to help coach them through the 30 days to healthy living. So and I'm just going to say our region, just use it as an example. Our region 30 day to healthy living, the one we're currently running, is almost silent. Actually, pretty much silent. There is not anything going on. And starting with this Sunday's, this next one, that comes to an end. If you put somebody into 30 days to healthy living, you have to be an active participant in that 30 days to healthy living. I run probably 2/3 of them, and that's fine, and I do not mind running them. It's part of my normal morning routine. Renee helps run them sometimes, and Sherry Teeter helps run them, but it is just not our responsibility. If you put somebody into 30 days to healthy living, you need to be very active. And what does that mean? That means taking pictures of your food, what you're eating at night, commenting on some of the different posts, and engaging your client that you put in there to encourage them to be active, because the more active they are in the 30 days to healthy living Facebook group, the more successful they will be on our program. Because if they're not active and we're not engaging them, they're probably not going to check their Facebook every day. It's not going to be something that they're going to do. And plus, you as their sponsor, as their coach, you need to encourage them through text messages and emails. And so that's one thing I'm going to let Eleanor, I'm going to let you go over what's available to us now on the source in training for our 30 days to healthy living. But I want to encourage everyone to utilize the 30 days to healthy living as one of your business building tools. Anna, who is not on here tonight, Anna Hibbard does excellent posts on Facebook about her experience with the 30 days to healthy living. And this is how she is actually able to sign people up to join our 30 days to healthy living consistently. So if you are particularly going through a dry spell where you're not able to get people to join the 30 days to healthy living, it is because you're not putting out there the 30 days to healthy living lifestyle. People don't know that that's what you're living if you're not putting it out there, either in conversation with the people that you come into contact every day, or on Facebook and Instagram. Okay, use your mouth, use Facebook and Instagram to let people know about your journey. And you can actually participate in a 30 days to healthy living twice a month. You can't do it twice a month, every month. And you can post on your Facebook page your progress in the 30 days to healthy living. Or if you feel like, I've done it and I'm living the lifestyle, then post that lifestyle on Facebook or talk to people about it, because the 30 days to healthy living is an amazing tool for us to use to build our business, to bring in QV into our businesses. I mean, it is there. It's run for you. You just need to put the people in and then participate in that Facebook group. I mean, it's a pretty simple way to build your business. And I think those on Team Rev, we've gotten very lax, and I'm including myself in on this. We've gotten very lax with encouraging people to come in. So I challenge each and every one of you to make this Sunday, to turn over a new leaf, to get very excited about the 30 days to healthy living again. And one of the ways you're going to be able to get very excited about it is about the new information that Arbonne is actually putting out there for us to use as tools. And again, I'm going to let Eleanor go through all of that. But truly, do not let 2 times per month go by without getting people in the 30 days to healthy living. And it does take effort. I mean, I agree. You got to get out. You got to talk to people. You got to let them know what you're doing. You got to put those posts on Facebook. Every night I try to take a picture of our meal and put it on Facebook. And Laura, you just did that. And I mean, and though it was a lot of us commenting on it, I think you had 1 or 2 other people commenting on your meal, and that's your ticket to private message them and let them know what you're doing. Would they be interested in finding out more information? And then inviting them to our recorded Facebook Live 30 Days to Healthy Living, the how and the why, or if we have a live one coming up for them to watch. But we have so gotten away, and our numbers can tell, when we were really big into the 30 Days to Healthy Living, our area and region now, but our area at that time, we were adding 15 to 20 new participants, new preferred clients every month, when we were out there doing the live 30 Days to Healthy Living presentations. And we've taken them from doing live to doing, on Facebook, because it was getting harder and harder to get people to an event. So it's not hard to get people to watch a Facebook Live or to have them watch the recording. It's just that we've got to even take that step more. We've got to do that. So, what I'm saying, I put on our team Facebook page the tools to build your business every month. I put, September, this month is September's tools to build your business. And one of those tools is the 30 Days to Healthy Living. We run 2 of them a month. And so don't let those pass by without getting new preferred clients or your old preferred clients to come back and do it with us again. It's just, it's just one of the tools that we have. So, a well-run business, a well-balanced business uses the majority of tools that are put out there for us. And so with that, Eleanor, I'm going to throw it over to you so you can let everybody know about what Arbonne's doing.
Okay, great. I just realized that Sherry Teeter and Brenda Fouts and Rachel are together, and that's dangerous. I just saw Sherry Teeter, her little head pop up. I'm going, oh my God, those 3 are together. All that you have missing is Renee, and then I would be worried that we wouldn't be able to record this. Remember? Okay, I'm sorry. Just a little aside there. But that vibe tribe, dangerous. Okay, one thing that was shocking to me is because I was listening to Mindy Pretty's videos, and she's got 2 or 3 on the source. And you might just listen to them just because of her passion and her preciseness in the way they coach, their participants. They are very, very serious about coaching their participants. And we've been doing that a little bit more. And I think that is just that, just that they know that you care. But I think we could do a much, much better job. And so Arbonne has just literally worked with Mindy and her team And we have like, the 30 days support guide that Arbonne put out. But Kim and I are going to talk about this on our way to Oklahoma and back, because Kim and Jamie has prepared, their weekly guides as well. So I've always used the support guide that Arbonne provided as a resource. So we need to, we'll need to discuss what we're going to do with that. But there's a success checklist. There's a product focus guide now. All of this is 30 days to healthy living and beyond. Arbonne has even put out a PowerPoint that you can take a look at. I think ours is better, but it's still, in a pitch. It's very succinct. They have the 30 days to the client tracker, and that has all the verbiage. And there is a video with that that Mindy Pretty does. It's with that client tracker. And she gives you verbiage that she uses with, literally almost every day or every other day, every week. It's very good. We will again have to revamp what we might be doing because they literally put out a menu and a grocery list, and they expect their participants to follow that. And so we have done something a little bit differently than that, but still it's worthy of a listen. They have a 30 days, the cheat sheet. And then there's another a video on there, or not a video, but something you can download is Prospecting with a Purpose, using that 30 and 30 jumpstart, and you can also use it with your healthy living. So it's all on the source though, you guys. Don't try to eat this darn elephant all at one time, because you become overwhelmed. So just, to me, and what Cecilia always taught was, do the activity. Do your 30 and 30. Get at least 3 to 5 people on the healthy living every time. But do the activity. And then, you can, little by little do all the personal development, all the growth that you need with all the 30 and 30, because there's an awful lot out there now. So I think we can, keep the main thing the main thing. Although I do love the client tracker, because Mindy Pretty and Stacy Dyer and Tracy Schutz, they're all EMVPs pretty directly from the healthy living. And every 2 out of 10 of their participants become consultants, become business builders. Every 2 out of 10. That is from coaching. That's from the coaching. That's from building relationships. And so that's what really struck me. But again, your activity is the most important thing. You earn while you learn. And so just remember that. Eat that elephant a little bit at a time. And I think that's it. I'm ready to go on to 30 and 30. But I am excited. I think, again, Sherry Teeter and Charlotte Schaefer, those 2 have done a great job this month with that 30 and 30. I think we have just not participated enough. All of the consultants that have people on those 30 and 30, the 30 days to healthy living. Oh, the 30's getting cheap.
I know, 30's getting. Well, one thing that I want to, our nation has asked us to join into the Nation 30 Days to Healthy Living, and I am sure we'll do that. My goal is for us to mesh with them come January 1st. As you notice, if you've kept up with any of what Arbonne's putting out, they're taking out all of those bad words such as detox and all the words that I just couldn't get behind. I couldn't use those words just, because I'm Jamie's wife. And, and if he's going to help do any of the videos or do anything like that, it has to go with the medical language. I mean, we can't, be talking about that we're necessarily detoxing our bodies, because our bodies detox themselves. It's not what we do. We're not doing it. And so just some of the verbiage, some of the things that they do is they do provide a recipes and along with the shopping guide. And, hey, if we decide that we want to just go all the way and go 100% and all the verbiage is good, and in leading the groups, because we'll take turns leading the large nation groups, and if we want to put our flavor in that lead, if you're the leader in the group, like, talk more about a plant-based lifestyle, I think that's probably the route we will go. And because we can add what extra information we want into the groups, but we just need to make sure that all of the documents that our nation is using is congruent in verbiage and in philosophy. And so this weekend when we meet with them, we're going to talk with, we're going to kind of go through that. I'm going to download all of their documents that they put out that are not Arbonne documents and see if we can work with them to kind of mesh their language with our language, their philosophy with our philosophy, which is really not too far off. I mean, they're both very similar. But I'm thinking January 1 would be a great kickoff to do us all together. So until then, we'll continue to do what we're doing and just kind of tweak what we're doing as we go on. And then come January 1, I'm thinking that we'll be able to join with the nation and do just one single, or I'm sure we'll be doing 2 30 days to healthy living challenges every month, just like we do now, but they'll be that much bigger. Although there is an issue with being bigger, and that is what we'll have to discuss, because if you're not taking care of your client and they're asking a lot of questions, it's not the leader's responsibility to answer 100 questions. Can you imagine Renee or Sherry, you guys leading it, and there's 200 people in there and they're all asking questions, or 100 of them are asking questions? How could you ever keep up? As a leader, you couldn't. So that means if you put somebody in there, you've got to be attentive to their questions, because most of us who have been in the program, you're able to answer their questions that they're doing. So I'll leave that for as we move forward, getting closer to January and kind of meshing that out. But I do look for us to join them in January and have a very cohesive, good nation program. And they're going to ask us to run them periodically. So, I hope you guys step up to the plate and offer to do that, because you are quite capable. Each one of you are quite capable of running a 30-day to healthy living group. And so with that, we will now go into
one more thing, Kim. I'm sorry, real quick. Mindy and them, they use the Photify a lot, and she talks about that also. So I thought that was interesting, and you guys can go through that when you get to it.
Yeah. So go to the source, educate yourself on what Arbonne is putting out there for the 30 days to healthy living. That's what we're saying. We're not going to spend the time, just going through every detail of it. You need to get on the source, educate yourself on what's going on with the 30 days to healthy living and what changes are coming about. And we will move into all of those changes come January 1st. So now let's talk about some great 30 and 30 wins, because I've heard from some of you guys here recently on our Voxers about your 30 and 30 wins, but I would love for you guys to unmute yourself, when you're ready to share your 30 and 30 win, because I would love for you to share them with everyone.
Before we start with that, I just have one question about the
30
days. Are we going to start calling it Arbonne 30, or is it going to be staying?
It is 30 days to healthy living, but the hashtag is Arbonne 30.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the reason we have to call it, because Arbonne wants you to call it by their name. Because, it is their product, their thing. So they want us to call it 30 days to healthy living and beyond. And so come January 1st, I really think we just need to just kind of really slam right into everything right, instead of a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So anyway, we'll talk with the nation, because, they still call it a lot of times a detox, a boot camp, So we need to really, pull it together. So anyway, enough of that. There's a lot of work ahead of me, and I'm just like, whew, yeah. All right, let's talk about some 30 and 30 wins.
I'll talk about one first.
All right, go, Renee.
Because just 'cause I'm getting tired. Just in general, people are calling back or texting back. I have found that I'm not just, talking to them about Arbonne, but I use it also as an excuse to get the gold bag out. Because I really, on my 100 list, probably 10% of them have tried the RE9. So I'm using that, and I can't tell you how many RE9 bags. I mean, I'm just rotating them every 3 days. I can't wait to pick it up because I have another person waiting for it. So that's like a kind of a benefit from doing this, if you would, like an extra thing.
So tell me how you're working that in.
Well, after like sending out a text and waiting for somebody to reply, and then they do, and then I'm like, well, hey, would you also be interested? I see you never tried this. This is something that I do. I'll let you try it for 3 days. Would you want me to bring that to the meeting, and we can talk about that too? So it's sort of like an add-on.
Great.
And then I ask them, what are you currently using? Are you using anything in particular? And most people are not. Some are on products that maybe their dermatologist prescribed them. So a couple people were not interested. Some people are using oil of Olay, Rodan and Fields. So it's interesting. So I've probably put out that bag in the last week 4 times.
Wow. That's awesome, Renee. That is awesome.
Love that.
2 bags going, so.
Yeah, that is awesome. Love it. Absolutely. Yeah, throw that. Yeah, go bag in if you have.
You're already meeting them, so why not bring it?
Hey, I love that recommendation. That is actually super. Very good. Very good. All right, anybody else have a win they want to share?
I just want to say something about what Renee was saying with dropping the gold bag. I actually had someone on my list who I was supposed to meet with, and then something came up, so she canceled. And then I was like, okay, well, we'll meet again. So the day came where we were going to meet again, and something else came up, and I was like, okay, well, what's your address? Because I really want to bring you what I have so that you can try it before we meet. So what I did was I brought her little goodie bag, which what I've been putting in there is nutrition samples, like a fit kit basically, and then a little bit of information on our 30 Days to Healthy Living. I'm trying to get rid of my catalog, so I've been putting a catalog in there. But you know what I did this time? I actually dropped my gold bag, my full-size products with her, which I've been dropping it, but with her so that we had to meet in a couple days because I needed it back. And I actually just met with her on Monday. We had coffee. And so by the time I met with her, it was kind of like a backwards meetup. By the time I met with her, she had already tried what I gave her. She'd already used the skincare for 3 to 4 days. And so she was already aware of, how she liked it, what she liked, what she didn't like, and, just how it felt. So she was just already ready to learn about a little bit more about Arbonne by the time we met up. So I thought that was kind of a win. And yeah, I've been dropping my gold bag, and I've actually even been using my old set too. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's still good product. So yeah. Absolutely.
And if I'm really in a pinch, I have that deluxe Trimine. I still have that I can send out to. So it's still better than giving the little sample pack. So that's all I have.
Very good, Tara. Thanks.
That's good.
So anybody else want to share?
I have an exciting outcome, I guess, from a meeting that I had yesterday. There was somebody on my chicken list who was one of the coaches at the gym, also a spouse in our squadron. So there's a lot of layers of hesitation there, reasons why she was intimidating to me to talk to about this. And when I first sent her the invitation for the 30 and 30, she replied with, yes, I'll be happy to meet with you. That'll be great. I do need to tell you that I know a lot about Arbonne already. So when we met up yesterday, she was telling me, as I'm going through all of the different areas that we have products for, she's like, I thought that I knew all about Arbonne because I had this friend when we lived in Little Rock that was always talking about the shakes and the nutrition products. And I had no idea that you had makeup and skincare. And I am so interested in anti-aging stuff. And I think I want to do this preferred client thing. So how do I sign up for that? And so it was like, besides the fact that I think she's awesome, and so it was like just sitting down for a great chat with a friend, it was also this amazing outcome that I never, ever expected to happen with her, So it was very exciting to have that, and it definitely fueled me up. Okay, I'm going to get on there. I'm going to go through that list of people who have ignored my first message, and I'm going to send them the second and third follow-up messages that Kristen Walter was talking about on Saturday, because it is so worth it.
Very good. Very good, Rachel. Oh, did you tell them about your video? That you finally got the nerve?
So, okay. The gym is doing this contest this month that is actually a bingo card, and you have to fill the entire card in order to get the prize. And so I decided at the beginning of the month I really wanted this prize. And one of the things you have to do is post a video on social media of a personal record of you achieving it in class. And so I posted it, sort of kind of hoping not that many people would see it. Because, I'm just a little bit shy about that. And, when I posted like my karate videos and we lived in Japan and whatever, I had practiced that for so many months beforehand that I was confident that they were going to look good, but not so much about this whole, back squat video the other day, but I posted it so that I could keep moving forward in the game. And I had so many responses that Eleanor and I were talking today, and Charlotte and I were talking about it today too, that I can totally take those responses and segue with those people into like, this is what I'm doing and this is what's working for me and what's so great, and have another avenue to introduce them to what Arbonne is doing in my life.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes, I saw your video, Rachel. It was fabulous.
It was. And that smile at the end, I loved it.
Thank
you guys, and that what Rachel was talking about, the second and third responses, I can't remember all of them, but I used that, the one with a nurse that works where my mother is, and had just mentioned Arbonne to me and was interested. And so I sent her the text, of course, and I didn't hear from her and didn't hear from her and didn't hear from her. So I just decided to do what Kristen had said. And I just said, since I haven't heard from you, I hope that I have not offended you in any way. She texted me back almost immediately, within the hour, and I'm meeting with her next Friday. So, I don't know if it will work every time, but it's worked for me a couple of times using that. So, also.
Eleanor, I used that response last night because, I sent out a lot of mine before the 4th of the month, and so I hadn't, you give it a while and then I hadn't heard back. So last night was my follow-up to the follow-up, and it was I hope I didn't offend you, and I ended up setting up like 4 more appointments just on that.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Yeah. Most people,
a lot of the time,
people are busy, Yeah. Especially if they aren't in network marketing like we are. They don't check their phone all the time. They're not just waiting for people to text them.
Yeah. Does anybody else have a win they want to share?
I have one more.
Go.
Well, Kim, it was so funny because Kim and I talked for just a few minutes the other day because we had just she had met with a couple of people and I'd met with a couple of people. And the one I really wanted to be a 3 turned out to be a 1. And the one that I really didn't want to be a 3 necessarily turned out to be the 3. So there will be times when you're going to get a flip-flop back. And then I sent the text and met with one of my old area managers who happens to be German, who is going to Germany in October. And she has kind of been reignited because Arbonne is going into Germany. And of course, I met with her today, and she knows, all the different little things that we've been going through with Puerto Rico and all of that. And so she is going to take products and samples, and she's making her list of who she's going to talk to. But it was 3:00 in the afternoon, and I walked in the door, and she had like a German, here, you'll need this, a German spritzer thing. And literally, I was drinking this champagne with this red stuff and raspberries in it, because she said, this is what we're going to do when we get to Germany. So I just felt like that was, that is a win. I don't know what's going to happen, but I am so excited. I was also drunk picking up my mother to take her to the doctor. Not drunk, but, just a wee bit tipsy on the champagne.
You were buzzed.
And that's not very nice to say that, but I'm 70 and I figure I can say anything now.
That's right. You have permission for sure.
Yeah, store.
Does anybody else have anything they want to share?
Brenda does.
Go, Brenda.
Well, I told
That's
Kim
good.
this.
Bigger one.
I think it was last year or the year before at UTC. I bought this big makeup case, this huge honker thing with all this makeup, and it's in my little tiny bathroom by the toilet. Just sits there. I was talking to one of my friends. We were talking about this, and I said, I did kind of like the script, but I said, I'm going to go to Branson for a few days, and why don't you just have fun with it? Here's some spa stuff. Here's some makeup stuff. She came back. I came back, and I thought, well, she wanted to order some mascara. She said, okay, here's my list. It was like $306 worth of. But she gave me a script the other night, and I wrote it down. I don't know if I can say it, but basically she's like, hey, I want you to just try this. Just have fun with it. Don't feel like you have to buy anything, but I really care about you. I just want you to be pampered and have fun with it. And that's kind of my script. But my bags are going out, but that makeup case is going out. It's going out. So
I need to get that case.
yeah.
I say that to friends of mine that are kind of like, I love you, Sherry, but, I'm not necessarily want any Arbonne. So I do that with them all the time. I'm like, hey, I love you. Have a nice weekend. Go enjoy this, and that kind of stuff. Of course, one of my friends put the Rescue and Renew Gelée on her face. And she's pale. I'm like, it had the little instructions with it. I had the little, and she said, I can't read that. So anyhow, I have two kind of different kind of wins, I guess. But along the lines that, who was just saying that,
Rachel.
you were all talking about, I hope you apologized because you hadn't heard from somebody.
Krista.
Yeah, about, did I offend you, that kind of thing. So last night I did a Facebook Live while I was waiting for Brenda and Rachel. And like a couple of my travel clients, like older people, I shouldn't say older, but
Thank you. Donna and I thank you.
I'm older. So anyhow, but so I actually sent an email because this guy refers so much business to me, to one of them. And I said, I am so sorry if you feel like, that was inappropriate or something, or whatever. And he called me at 5:00 today. And this isn't necessarily an Arbonne win necessarily, but he was like, you know what? When I saw you last night, I realized that I think you'd be good for a big event I have coming up with a bunch of seniors. And he said, so I want you to talk to people about travel and what they can do senior wise. But it still was kind of a win because I thought I was being embarrassing, but in fact he took it in a positive way. So that's a good thing, right? My positive from, I had an open house yesterday, and one of my travel reps that comes in and calls on me came in, and she is a preferred client, but she came in to like sell travel, and then she also knew I was doing an open house, so she came, you know, kind of a combo or whatever. But her and I have been speaking about, maybe you guys can help me with this, but so she said, I am really interested in doing a party with you. I just hope that we can combine it. She is a rep for Don Castor's, which Don Castor, which is a very high-end clothing line. So we were trying to match up some of my really high-end travel clients, and then she said, but I can probably, if you can get me 1 or 2 of your clients, I could probably send you 10 or more, you know, because she said my clients are definitely can afford Arbonne and use skincare for sure, you know, high-end skincare. So anyhow, so we're hoping to do it by the end of October. So that was positive. So
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Maybe I can turn those seniors on to the 30-day healthy living somehow. I don't know if I can tweak that in there. So before you go on your 30-day cruise, you need to do this 30-day healthy living program.
Like Anna said, the ready to drink stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
How funny. All right. Well, I'm going to share one of my wins, and then we'll just wrap it up because we've almost been on here 45 minutes. But I actually sent out my group a text, and I know how hard it is to get out 100. I have still yet to get out a complete 100, but I like the Ashley Stone actually. Who am I trying to say? What was the last recording? Donna Johnson.
Go for the gold.
Yeah, Go for the gold. Donna Johnson had Ashley Stone on, and she kind of put it all together in one, just about. And she really recommends doing them all at once and not even looking at your responses. You know, and I would say absolutely that's the best way to do it. You know, we're moving, you know, we're getting to the end of September. And by the way, have you reached your goals? You know, we've got a week and a little more, so get out there and work hard. But, you know, we do this 30 and 30. We did it in September, and we're going to do it again in October. So when October gets here, you have a whole new list of people to call again. Another, you know, you want another 30 people. So the people that you talk to in September are not the people you're going to talk to in October. So this is what's really going to build your business. But the win that I had, remember I said, and even Ashley said on this last call, you can, you know, call or text preferred clients, old preferred clients, or old consumer consultants, because, you know, they may have never heard the whole story, the entire Arbonne story, or it's been a long time. So this was somebody who I had contacted back when Arbonne was doing the welcome back to old consultants that had fallen away. And so she had come back and ordered the RE9 and, you know, had become a consultant again at no cost, you know, at no cost to her. And so I messaged her, you know, could I share the Arbonne story with her? And she goes, well, sure, I'd love to meet you for coffee, but you know, I am not interested in the business. I said, no problem. Just let me come. I'm going to come share the story, and I'm going to bring you a gift. So I met with her. I went through the Discover Arbonne, and this is Arbonne for you. And I went for it just like it is. I added my own little experiences in there. I didn't change the information, didn't change the order. It's just each topic, I added a little of me to that topic. Well, first of all, I have to say I began just like Ashley said. I asked her a lot of questions because it had been a long time since I'd seen her. So I asked her a lot of questions about herself, where she was, what she was doing, her job, and all of that. So I got a good foundation of knowledge. I went through the Is Arbonne for You step by step, throw on a little bit of myself in there. And when I got to the end, I said, on a scale of 1 to 3, because I really like the 1 to 3 they suggested at our impact training. And I said, on a scale of 1 to 3, 1 being you just want to continue purchasing the product at your great discount, or 3, you're ready to start your own Arbonne business. And remember, when I had texted her, you know, she had said, no way am I interested. She told me she was a strong 2. And so I asked her, I said, out of everything I've told you that I've shared with you this afternoon, what moved you to a strong 2? What is it? And she turned the sheet over, because we were on the back side. She turned the sheet over and she pointed to one of the questions. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And that's what really got her thinking. So I say, use the script word for word. It's right there. It's laid out there for you. And actually, Ashley Stone has a YouTube video. I posted it on our team Facebook page. It's in the comments of one of the where I had listed all the 30 and 30, and she goes through the is Arbonne for you, and she gives a lot, and she adds a lot to it. And so and that's what I just did. I listened to that right before I went to my appointment, so it was all real fresh as I was going through it, and I was able to move her to a strong 2. And so my next response was to her, can I share a video with you, and then we'll follow up again in a couple of days? And she goes, absolutely, send me a video. I also had a curiosity pack in my bag, so I gave her a folder with Ion Arbonne stories in it, what the benefits of being a consultant, those types of things in it. So I gave her that to take home. I sent her the video, and we're following up tomorrow. We're having a conversation tomorrow to follow up with that. So anyway, it's all about moving them. Once you get them, there are 2 or more, it's moving them to the next. So tomorrow I'm going to ask her to get a few friends together so she can actually see what I do. What we do as Arbonne consultants. So that is my next step, is to ask her to get 2 or 3 friends together. So that is my win. And then, as Eleanor said, I had a win that was is a Facebook friend fella. And he said, and I sent him a messenger, and he says, yes, I'm interested. And so I did a Zoom, and he's ready to sign up on Monday. Anyway, one of these Facebook people, so we'll see how that goes.
I know.
Yeah, anyway,
well, the one
anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kim.
No, that's fine. But anyway, the 30 and 30 works. It works. It's not going to be 100%. You're not going to get 100% response from the 100 texts you send out, but you're going to get response. So I can't encourage you enough to do it. You want to grow your business. You want to move your business. Send out that text. It is so simple, and it gets a lot of appointments on your schedule. And I know we are all crazy busy, and Tara George said this to me. She goes, I don't even know how I'm going to see all these people. You know what? We'll figure it out. And you can Zoom with them, Zoom it. That way you don't have to move out of, move and go places, Zoom with them. But it's so much more fun to have all of those appointments than it is to have an empty calendar. Mm-hmm. So much more fun to worry about how you're going to fit it in than not having enough on your calendar to, with people to share. So Eleanor, do you have a few words you want to wrap up with, and we'll close it?
Oh, I was just going to tell them not to judge. Never judge, because the little gal that, that I'm meeting with, that is a 3, supposedly a 3, had told me their husband had just bought her like $100 worth of Herbalife. And have I ever tried Beauty Encounter, whatever that is? She says, oh, you would love it. And all of this. And that's why, that's before I'd gone through the Is Arbonne for You with her. Mm-hmm. And so I was not even prepared when I did the 1, 2, or the 3, and she goes, I'm a 3. And it was like, really? With $100 or whatever you just bought from Herbalife? You never know. And the one gal that I really wanted on my team, I just think she's phenomenal. And Kim, you know who I'm talking about. She was just a 1, but she was shocked. She goes, there's so much about Arbonne that I did not know. She's been a preferred client for a long time, then upgraded to a consultant, just to be a consumer consultant. And her husband went to Africa. So I think it's a time thing. She's the mom of a teenage senior and a 7-year-old. But I think, I have a funny feeling that she's going to end up on our team. So anyway, just never judge. Just do the 30 and 30, because do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and send the text.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it. Just like Nike says.
Just
Question.
not Sherry, Brenda.
They made me ask, and I'm there like, because you probably should know, but I don't. What can you? Rachel did the curiosity pack. It's like, I have information I send, but we all said that you have all the the perfect stuff. So, is there anything that we would not think of, or could you like just post that what you have?
I'll post it on our team page.
Thank you. Okay.
That's perfect.
Thank you.
And then she said
That's the packet.
where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I have that.
Are you
I
doing?
have that. Yeah. We're good. Sorry.
That's good. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for taking time out tonight to join us on our team huddle. We do this weekly. We hope you are empowered and inspired and really get some great information to to move your businesses forward, because that is what we're here. We're here to support each one of us, here to support each other so that we can all have successful businesses. So again, thank you all so much for being on. Love you all so much, and good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night, you three.
Good night.
Good night, Ray.